Okay, I still have several issues with many of your research papers, so please watch this video to make sure that you are not committing some of these mistakes in your paper, especially for the final draft, which is worth basically a letter grade and a half on your class average for English, okay? What I want to point out first is the page numbering here. Your last name and the page number should be on every page. You must use the header function in Word. Otherwise, it will be 1 inch from the top rather than the correct 1/2 inch. Use the page numbering feature that is in the header function in Word, and it will automatically number your pages. You just have to add your last name before the page number and space once. Now, many of you are doing that. Some of you are forgetting to change the font. Your Word likely defaults to Calibri font. You've got to change even the header function to Times New Roman size 12. There are several of you who have made that mistake over and over. I will say here that I have corrected the same mistakes on just about every draft that some of you have sent me, and it's like you're not even reading my comments. I want to clarify that the 20 points you received on your draft, that was a completion grade just for doing the assignment. That didn't mean it was perfect. Please go back, read my comments, and correct your papers. Failure to do so when I have told you what to fix is going to result in a huge slam to your final grade on your final paper. I want you to note also the header on the upper left page. Here, your dates, some of you are still writing them wrong. You put the day, 1 space, the month, 1 space, and the year with no comma, okay? Some of you are having trouble citing your sources. I just want to show you how you do that. You may do that one of 2 ways. Here, you see the author's last name, Flynn, in parentheses. That is totally acceptable for MLA. That lets me know that this information came from this author. Here, you see that they've done this, Legal Scholar J. Keeson, and then they've given me the page number because this is a print source. You only give page numbers with print sources, never with web sources, even if you know the right page number for a web source, like if you have a PDF or something. Okay, you can introduce your author here, or you can cite him in parentheses at the end. Either way is correct. The only thing you don't want to do is do this and then put Keeson again at the end. Never do it both times, either or. Okay? While I'm scrolling down to the works cited page, one thing I want to mention is that your paper, if you go back to the very original directions you had in the class for your research paper, is a minimum of 8 pages of text, a maximum of 12 pages of text. Some of you have turned into me about 3.5 pages, and I'm concerned for you. Go back and reread those instructions. All right, works cited. Works is plural because there's more than one. For the works cited page, you will cite only the works that you have just cited in your paper. That's the only thing you'll put on this list. Do not use a source here if you did not put the last name in the paper and tell me, hey, this came from this person. All right? I want you to notice that there's just as much room between this line and this line as there is between this line and this line. I keep telling you to double space it. Some of you are quadruple spacing between your entries. Some of you are single spacing your entries and then double spacing between them. That's incorrect. Do not do that. Every line should be equally double spaced. I want you to notice as well that websites in MLA no longer put the URLs on here. They're not on here. Do not use your www address anywhere. That is not used in MLA for works cited pages. Make sure that your works cited list is in alphabetical order based on the author's last name. If you do not have an author, you default to the title of the work. Okay? I hope this clears up some of your questions. If you have others, please email me. One note about sources. Your core of your paper should be cited using peer-reviewed sources. There should be at least 10 on your Works Cited page. Do not use more than a 2-to-1 ratio. If you've got to use 10 non-peer-reviewed sources, then there needs to be 20 peer-reviewed. This paper needs to be a scholarly paper. In order for that to be the case, it's got to be rooted in peer-reviewed literature. That's got to be the crux of the argument. Okay, again, let me know if you have questions, and I know you'll be thrilled to have this done.